Hello folks, and welcome to yet another boring video on the subject of blue bottles. No, open source CCS fast charging courtesy of our BMW i3 LIM. Today's video, hosted by myself and my associate here on the comfortable chair, the Gome Cat, will probably be pretty darn boring. For that reason, if you have for some mysterious reason found yourself on this video, get out quickly, go up to the old search bar and search for a funny cat video. It will be much more interesting than anything I have to say. Also, if you are watching this video on our old friend YouTube, just to let you know that it will be available ad-free on Vimeo also. So now that we've those little messages from the sponsors out of the way, let's have a talk about where we have been with our LIM, or where we're going with the LIM even. Okay. So last you saw of us, we had the LIM installed in the Grey Goose, our E46 Touring, and we'd been successfully AC charging the vehicle. Well, since then, there's been a lot of stuff going on, but unfortunately not a lot of video or stuff that I can show you, because when I'm parked up at one of these fast charging stations, it's not very conducive to start making videos. You've got a lot of people watching, a lot of them want to talk to me and interact with me, and I'm not that kind of a people person. I'm more of a funny cat person. So what you'll be seeing today will be kind of a mixture of me talking to you here about what has actually happened, and some little shaky mobile phone footage clips, and some pictures of what's been going on. So definitely recommending the seasickness medication for you, and probably some kind of anti-shaky hands medicine for myself. Right, so where do we start? So firstly, we have successfully initiated a CCS fast charging session at more than one brand of charging point, and we have successfully charged the car many times. In fact, over the last, I'm going to say, maybe 10 days, I've done just under 1,000 miles of driving, and with a mixture of home charging and CCS fast charging. I think I've done about 122 kilowatt hours of CCS fast charging, according to my weird phone app things. So have we had problems? Yes. Are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Not quite. But we're pretty far down the road, if you'll pardon the pun. So the first clip that I'm going to show you will be of the first time that it actually worked, which was at an Ionity ABB fast charging station. This probably ended up being the shakiest phone footage ever. I need to go drive more power out of the car, because okay, let's ask it for 30. 30 amps. Oh yeah, we're getting 30 amps, no stress. It's my Delta V, it's 100 millivolts. And I only put very low power into the car at this point. I've been kind of gradually bringing the power up. That worked. I think I put like 30 amps tops into that. And that then led me on to another brand which is quite common here in this country. I cannot pronounce it, so I'm just gonna try and spell it, which I'll probably spell it wrong. It's something like F cake or F cac or something like that, but there's a mixture of QC45 and QC50 stations. Alrighty, so we are road tripping CCS style with our Phoenix contact plug, cheap Chinese socket, and our nice 0EV LED button thingy. And we are blasting away here on our, I can't pronounce that name, fast charger. This one works perfectly. Meter should tell us what we're doing. I can get it in there for you. 42 kilowatts at the minute on the AC side. Let's go take a look, see what we're getting DC. So about 40 kilowatts on the DC side. And the current limit choked down to 100 amps max at this point. Just as this brand of charger seems to only be able to put out 44 kilowatts. So I'm just keeping it a little bit under that limit. So we got, great. So we got 25 amp hours left to put back in. Just been into the shop there to get myself some lunch. So that is really neat to see that, just blasting away like that. What else have we got that's interesting here? So DC fast charging. Should have the various, so that's our battery voltage at the minute, just under, that's 389 volts. It'll start to go into constant voltage mode at 398. So we got a little bit of CCS info down here for you. Should have. Yeah, here we go. So we're on pilot type CCS. Plug detection on, obviously, because we're plugged in. This is the weird stuff here. I mean, this charger says that it has 125 amps available. But if I ask it for 125 amps, it will shut down and tell me I have an error. So at the minute, it's reporting 100 amps of current and 389 volts or 390 volts, which is pretty close to what we're seeing here in the car. The weird thing with this is that the contactor voltage is nearly always lower. I don't know what's going on there. Don't mind the contactor status, that's not working right. That's one of the things I need to fix. Other interesting parameters here is the minimum voltage of this charger is specified as 50 volts over the comms, but we know from the CHAdeMO era, and this exact charger here actually, that it won't work at much below 250 volts. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. So we're getting there. A couple more problems with various charging points that I need to get to, but this brand here seems to be pretty good. And they've proven quite successful for me. I've done multiple charges there with those. The real problems hit about a week ago now when I went on my first road trip. And I came across a brand of charging station that I hadn't encountered before, manufactured, I believe, by a Spanish company called Control. And these have so far flatly refused to play nice with me. They go through the full authentication process. We do the cable test, isolation test. We close the contactors. We begin asking for current, and then they just go bleh and shut down. I've since had that on 3 of those ones. So that's something that is definitely going to need to get looked at. And lastly, oh yeah, 2 more. The ionity station that I had used successfully previously now won't go past the initial handshaking phase when it's saying that it has to wait for charging power to become available, even though there's plenty of charging power available. I've got some pictures of that, so I'll try and put those up for you to see. So, been doing some experiments with that. Again, haven't really had much success there, either with the ionity ABBs or the Control units. And lastly, tritium station goes through the whole process, connects, closes contactors, starts delivering current, but will only ever give me 8 amps of current. I cannot get any more. Doesn't matter how I ramp it, how I start it, how I ask it. I can beg it, I can, be angry with it, I can do anything I like, but it will not give me any more than 8 amps. So that is where things stand in our little CCS adventure at the minute, folks. So it looks as if we are seeing a little bit of a rehash of the fun in the sun from the CHAdeMO era of some years back. So, yeah, bit frustrating, bit annoying, but we'll get through it best as I can anyway. Couple of little tricks up my sleeve to try on this. Sorry, I didn't sleep too well last night. Firstly, don't know, it's probably not talking to it. No, of course not. I'll bring you folks over here, let you have a look at this. But what I've got is I've got the BDC, which is the body domain controller, out of the 2017 i3 that we have the LIM from. And what I'm attempting to do is to educate myself in the ways of modern BMW diagnostics and see if I can use the BDC to gateway myself to the LIM so that I can use a program like ISTA Plus to read the fault codes out of the LIM. so we can, you know, maybe see what's going on there and what I'm doing that I shouldn't be, because all of this comes down to the CAN messages and how I'm sending them and when I'm sending them and all this. So it's proven quite tricky to get anyone to get involved in that with me, which is a little bit disappointing, if I'm honest. But such seems to be the way of this game, so I won't let cynicism take me over completely here. So hopefully with the BDC we'll be able to get fault codes out of the LIM. I don't know, maybe. Or at least find out what CAN messages that it uses to get the diagnostic data, which is another I guess another minefield that I have to get myself through. Also going to be trying my 2014 LIM to see if there's any differences on those particular charging stations. And finally then, I'm going to attempt to intercept the SPI communication between the microcontroller in the LIM and the QCA 7000 GreenFi chip, and see if we can work out what we're actually saying to the charging station and what the charging station is saying back to us. So that's a little bit of a challenge. The good news is I got some quite knowledgeable people on the Open Inverter forum that are helping with that. So let's have a quick look here at our what's the name of it? BDC, Body Domain Controller. And of course we should also say hello to the Gome Cat, who is very much lacking in his host skills today, or duties I should say. He's just not really, you know, not really doing anything. Gome, hello, the internet is calling to you, Gome. Okay, anyway, so much for me ever making a funny cat video, eh? Now, let's get you folks in here with some of my stealthy camera work. Ooh, sorry about all the mess, by the way. So, this thing here is our body domain controller. This thing here is something I got from AliExpress that's supposed to allow me to basically connect an Ethernet to OBD cable to the body domain controller. Unfortunately, the key slot is too small to put the key in. This is the key from this car. I think I can turn the car off, but I don't know if I have the key away from it. If I press the button again, will it actually do anything? No, the dash light doesn't come on, but if I stuff the corner of this key in here, oh yeah, it comes on then, all right. So I guess it must be reading the key, but there's a red IMO light on here, and that's not doing anything for me. So I've got my Ethernet cable plugged in, but it just says the vehicle cannot be identified, unfortunately. But if I do, how do you do this again? Oh, I keep forgetting. Oh no, hang on. So if I go, I haven't used this in so long. It was seeing the Ethernet address of the thing, because I've got a cable plugged into the Ethernet port here. Oh yeah, there it is. So it is saying that is the correct VIN for the car. So it is seeing it here. So, but when I hit set up connection, it just goes into this vehicle identification thing and just basically sits there. So yeah, so that's what's going on with our attempts at talking to the BDC. So that's probably going to fail horribly. Oh, the Gome Cat has finally woken up. Good morning or afternoon gone, Cat. Anyway, that's about where things are at the minute, folks. As I said, you know, not terribly exciting, but do hope you're going to stick with us, because I think there'll be a bit more than 3 episodes of this crap, unfortunately. So I'll wrap it up there. If you do know anything about ISTA and Ethernet and body domain controllers, and specifically, I guess, been able to talk to a module, you know, leave me a comment, send me a mail. That would be great. So I'm just probably doing something really stupid. We'll leave it there. As always, there'll be links in the description. Specifically, I'm going to put links in there for the first 2 videos in this series, because there's a lot of folks asking me kind of basic questions, stuff. What's a LIM? Why am I doing this? You know, why am I doing that? So if you are kind of new to this, take a look at those links for the first 2 videos in the series. They'll hopefully help to get you up to speed. So also be links in there for Patreon, PayPal, in case you wish to financially support me doing this stuff. But God, don't. You know, I'll just do more of it then. We need to. Nah. Links there for Open Inverter Forum as well, where you can join in the fun if you so wish. And that's it, really. So don't forget to dislike, do not share, unsubscribe yourself from this ridiculous channel if you have, for some weird reason, found yourself subscribed. So in that case, we will see you next time. And until then, happy BDC communicating.